Officer, license and registration. You know why I pulled you over?
No, sir. I was doing the speed limit.
This your car?
Yes, sir. It's registered to me.
Okay, sure. Step out of the vehicle.
Officer, I haven't done anything wrong.
I said step out now. Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
All right. I'm reaching for
Hands
my
where I
wallet.
can see them. You people always got something to hide.
Racist cop pulls over a black driver, regrets it after seeing his federal badge. Opening hook 000-130. Deputy Reynolds walked up to the grey rental car. His hand was on his gun. License and registration, he said. You know why I pulled you over? The driver stayed calm. No, sir, I was doing the speed limit. Reynolds looked at the man, black, driving alone, rental car. This your car? Reynolds asked. Yes, sir, it's registered to me. Reynolds smirked. Okay, sure, step out of the vehicle. Officer, I haven't done anything wrong. I said step out. Now, don't make this harder than it needs to be. The driver moved slowly. All right, I'm reaching for my wallet. Reynolds grabbed his weapon tighter. Hands where I can see them. You people always got something to hide. Deputy Reynolds had no idea what he just walked into. In the next 72 hours, his badge would be gone. His pension would be frozen. The FBI would open an investigation into his entire department. The man he called "you people" was Marcus Thompson. He was a 12-year veteran of the United States Marshal Service. He had trained over 200 police officers in the law. His federal badge was in the same wallet Reynolds almost drew his weapon over. And both dashcams were recording everything. Before I continue, let me ask you something. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone in power? Tell me your story in the comments below. Deputy Reynolds had no idea who he pulled over that day. Marcus Thompson was not just any driver. He was a senior deputy U.S. Marshal. He worked on the Fugitive Task Force, catching the most dangerous criminals in America. Before that, Marcus served 6 years in the Army as a military police officer. He graduated from Howard University with a degree in criminal justice. He finished in the top 5% of his class at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. Here is what makes this story even more interesting. Marcus was a certified instructor in constitutional law. He taught police officers how to do their jobs the right way. He had been an expert witness in 14 civil rights cases. He helped the Department of Justice investigate police departments that broke the rules. Over 12 years, Marcus had made more than 350 arrests of dangerous fugitives. He had received 2 medals for bravery. He knew the law better than most lawyers. On that Tuesday in April, Marcus was just driving to his next assignment. He was wearing regular clothes. His gun was locked in the trunk. He looked like any other person on the highway. That is exactly what Reynolds thought, just another black man to stop. Reynolds picked the wrong driver on the wrong day. Deputy Brian Reynolds had been a cop for 11 years. He worked for the Whitfield County Sheriff's Office in Georgia. Reynolds had a reputation. Other cops called him the profiler. Some meant it as a compliment. Others refused to work with him. Here is the thing that matters most. Reynolds had 17 formal complaints against him in 8 years. Every single complaint came from a black or Hispanic driver. Not one of those complaints led to any punishment. 0. Let me tell you about 3 of them. In 2019, Reynolds pulled over a black lawyer. He claimed the car matched a stolen vehicle report. There was no stolen vehicle report. The lawyer filed a complaint. It was dismissed. In 2021, Reynolds stopped a Hispanic family. He held them on the side of the road for 45 minutes. He said they looked suspicious. He found nothing wrong. The family complained. Nothing happened. In 2023, Reynolds pulled his gun on a black nurse. He said her tail light was broken. It was not broken. She filed a complaint. Internal Affairs cleared Reynolds completely. Type 17 in the comments if you think that many complaints should have gotten him fired already. The county knew they had a problem. Black people were only 3% of the population there, but they made up most of the traffic stops. The ACLU had warned this department twice about racial profiling. Nobody did anything about Reynolds, nobody stopped him, until now. It was Tuesday, April 15th. The time was 2:47 in the afternoon. Highway 41 runs through rural Georgia. It connects small towns like Dalton and Calhoun. The road is long and quiet. Not many cars pass through. Local people know this highway well. They call it a speed trap. Police officers hide behind billboards and wait for drivers to pull over. That is exactly where Deputy Reynolds was parked. He sat in his cruiser behind a big sign. He watched cars go by. He ran license plates through his computer. The weather was nice that day. Clear sky, about 72 degrees, just a regular spring afternoon. Then Reynolds saw it, a gray Nissan Altima, rental car plates, black male driver. He ran the plate. It came back as a rental. That was enough for him. Marcus Thompson was driving 67 miles per hour. The speed limit was 70. He was under the limit. He was doing north. Wrong. Reynolds hit his lights anyway. Marcus saw the flashing lights in his mirror. He pulled over right away. He put his hands on the steering wheel. He waited calmly. Marcus had taught this exact situation to hundreds of cops. He knew what was supposed to happen. He also knew what was about to go wrong. If stories like this matter to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Reynolds walked up to the car. His hand was on his holster. He did not smile. License and registration. Marcus handed over his documents slowly. Here you go, sir. Reynolds looked at the rental agreement. His eyes narrowed. This your car? It's a rental for work. What kind of work you do? I'm in law enforcement, actually. Reynolds laughed. Sure you are. This is where things got worse. Reynolds made a choice. He decided not to believe Marcus. Step out of the vehicle. Officer, can you tell me why I'm being stopped? I don't need to explain myself to you. Out now. Marcus stepped out slowly. His hands were visible the whole time. I have federal credentials in my wallet. I'm going to reach for them. Did I ask for that? Hands on the vehicle. Marcus put his hands on the car. He stayed calm. Sir, I'm a deputy U.S. Marshal. My badge is right here. Reynolds got in his face. I don't care if you're the president. You people always got some story. Those two words, you people. Reynolds said them like it was normal, like he said them every day. Maybe he did. Marcus did not raise his voice. I would like your badge number and your supervisor's name. You threatening me? That how you want to play this? Reynolds pushed Marcus toward the cruiser. He ordered him to spread his legs. He started to search him. A truck driver slowed down nearby. He started recording on his phone. Another car pulled over to watch. Reynolds ignored them both. Marcus spoke clearly. I am a federal officer. This is being recorded. I am not resisting. Reynolds found Marcus's badge. He held it up and laughed. Where did you get this? Amazon. Call it in. Verify my credentials. I'll wait. I decide what gets called in, not you. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? Reynolds did not know it yet, but Marcus had more than just the dashcam recording him. Under his polo shirt, Marcus was wearing a body camera. He turned it on the moment those lights started flashing. Every word, every push, every you people. All of it was recorded. 10 minutes into the stop, Reynolds finally decided to check. He walked back to his cruiser. He typed Marcus's name into the federal database. The screen lit up. Deputy U.S. Marshal Marcus Thompson, active duty, credentials valid. Reynolds froze. The dashcam caught his face. His expression changed completely. He walked back to Marcus slowly. His voice was different now. Look, we get a lot of rental cars through here. You understand? Marcus did not smile. He did not accept the excuse. Am I being detained? No, you're free to go. Then I need your badge number your name, and your supervisor's contact. This stop is going in my report." Reynolds tried one more time. "Come on, man, professional courtesy, right? We're both law enforcement." Marcus looked him in the eye. "Professional courtesy doesn't include you people. I have it all on camera." The color left Reynolds' face. But wait, there is more to this story. While Reynolds was trying to save himself, 3 witnesses had gathered. They all had their phones out. They all saw what happened. The first witness was Gerald Patterson. He was a truck driver, 58 years old. He told police later, "I pulled over because I thought that cop was going to shoot that man. There was no reason to treat him like that." The second witness was Maria Santos. She was a nurse driving home from work. She was 34 years old. She said, "The driver was so calm. The officer was the one being aggressive. I got most of it on my phone." The third witness was David Chen. He was a 22-year-old college student. He said, "I was scared to stop, but I had to. This was wrong. That officer called him you people. I heard it." 3 witnesses, 3 phone recordings, plus Marcus's body camera, plus his government dashcam, plus Reynolds' own dashcam. That is 5 different recordings of the same stop. A few minutes later, Sergeant Williams arrived. Marcus had asked for a supervisor. Sergeant Williams reviewed what happened. His face went pale when Marcus showed his real credentials. Williams tried to fix things. "Deputy Reynolds is a good officer. I'm sure this is just a misunderstanding." Marcus shook his head. "Then you have nothing to worry about when I file my report." Reynolds made one last attempt. "I was just doing my job. You know how it is out here." Marcus stared at him. "I know exactly how it is. That's the problem." By now, Reynolds understood. He had not pulled over a rando. Driver. He had pulled over someone who knew every law he broke, someone with the power and the proof to do something about it. Type karma in the comments if you think Reynolds deserved what was coming. Reynolds was about to learn that his 17 previous complaints had finally caught up with him. Things moved fast after that day. Within 48 hours, the FBI Civil Rights Division opened an investigation. The U.S. Attorney's Office was told about the case. The Sheriff's Department got an official warning. Sheriff Daniel Morrison had to make a public statement. He looked nervous on camera. He said the department was looking into what happened. But the FBI was not just looking, they were digging. They watched all the footage, Reynolds' camera, Marcus's camera, the witness videos. They checked every second. The audio was clear. Reynolds said, "You people." There was no way to deny it. Then they checked why Reynolds made the stop. There was no reason, no stolen car report, no traffic violation. Marcus was driving under the speed limit. He did everything right. Reynolds had lied. His excuses did not match reality. Here is what the investigation found. Reynolds claimed the rental car matched a stolen vehicle. FBI checked. There was no stolen vehicle report that day. The plate was never flagged. Reynolds claimed the driver was acting suspicious. The video showed Marcus driving calmly under the speed limit. He pulled over right away. He kept his hands visible. Reynolds claimed it was a standard traffic stop, but there was no legal reason for the stop. No warning was given. No ticket was written. Reynolds had his hand on his weapon the entire time. Every single claim Reynolds made was proven false. Then the FBI pulled Reynolds' personnel file. All 17 complaints were right there. Every one of them involved a black or Hispanic driver. The department had dismissed every single complaint. Day 2, Reynolds was placed on leave. Day 3, Internal Affairs started their investigation. Week 2, the FBI said Reynolds should face civil rights charges. Week 5, Reynolds was fired. If you believe bad cops should be held accountable, hit that subscribe button now. 2 months later, Marcus Thompson filed a federal lawsuit. He sued Reynolds, Sergeant Williams, Sheriff Morrison, and the whole county. Other officers reached out to Marcus privately. Many of them said they supported him. They knew Reynolds was a problem they had known for years. Reynolds tried to get a job at a nearby police department. They said no, nobody wanted him now. But the story was not over. While all this was happening, the witness videos were spreading online. The internet was about to make Deputy Reynolds very famous. Maria Santos uploaded her video to Facebook that evening at 6 p.m. By 8 p.m., it had 50,000 views. By midnight, local news stations were calling her. By the next day, 2.3 million people had watched it across different websites. By 48 hours, the story was everywhere. CNN covered it, MSNBC covered it, Fox News covered it, everyone was talking about it. By 1 week, the hashtag Justice for Marcus was trending across the country. 47 million people saw it. The final numbers were huge. Facebook, 4.2 million views and 180,000 shares. Twitter, 12 million views and 340,000 retweets. TikTok, 8.7 million views on short clips. YouTube news channels, 6.5 million views combined. People were angry, the comments showed it. One person wrote, "This man trained cops and they still did this to him. Imagine what happens to regular people." Another said, "Reynolds asked where he got his badge. Amazon, a federal marshal. The disrespect is unreal." Someone else commented, "He needed to be a marshal to get justice. That tells you everything." The most popular comment said, 17 complaints and nothing happened until he messed with the wrong one. The sheriff's office tried to stay quiet at first. They said no comment, but the pressure was too strong. On day 3, they said they were doing an internal review. On week 2, the sheriff held a press conference. He announced new training for the whole department. Reynolds deleted all his social media. His lawyer made a statement. It said, "Deputy Reynolds denies any racial bias." That statement made people even more angry. The video showed exactly what happened. Everyone could see it. This story was shared millions of times. Share it yourself if you think others should see this. 3 days after the video went viral, Reynolds made another mistake. He talked to a local reporter. What he said next would destroy him in court. Marcus Thompson filed his lawsuit in federal court. He sued for civil rights violations and racial discrimination. He named Reynolds, Sergeant Williams, Sheriff Morrison, and the entire county. The lawsuit dug up everything. Remember those 17 complaints against Reynolds? Every single file was pulled. Every one of them showed the same pattern: Black and Hispanic. Drivers stopped for no real reason, complaints dismissed. The department's numbers were even worse. They dismissed 94% of all complaints against officers. Almost no one ever got in trouble. 4 other deputies had similar complaints. The problems went deeper than just Reynolds. Then there were the internal emails. Supervisors had known about profiling concerns since 2018. They wrote about it to each other. They did nothing to fix it. But here is what really destroyed Reynolds. Remember that interview he gave 3 days after the video went viral? The reporter asked him a simple question. "Do you regret the stop?" Reynolds answered, "I'd do it again. You can't be too careful these days." That quote was played in court over and over. Reynolds said he would do it again. He had no regret. He learned nothing. Now let me tell you about the money. The settlement was $2.45 million total. Here is how it broke down. $1.2 million for damages to Marcus, $850,000 as punishment against the county, $400,000 for lawyer fees. But money was not the only consequence. The county had to do mandatory bias training for every single officer. The federal government would watch over the department for 5 years. They had to create new ways to review complaints. Every deputy had to wear a body camera from now on. As for Reynolds himself, he lost everything. He was fired from the department. His law enforcement license was taken away. He can never be a cop anywhere in Georgia again. he has a civil rights violation on his record forever. He also faced criminal charges. He pled no contest to a misdemeanor civil rights violation. That means he did not admit guilt, but he accepted the punishment. He got 2 years of probation. He has to do 200 hours of community service. He cannot carry a gun while on probation. His lawyer made a statement. Deputy Reynolds accepts responsibility and is working to better himself. Nobody believed it. People remembered what he said. He would do it again. Marcus Thompson gave his own statement after the settlement. I'm not celebrating. I had resources that most people don't have. I had recordings. I had credibility. I had a federal badge. This case is not about me. It is about what happens to people who don't have those things. Marcus Thompson stood at a podium after the settlement was announced. Reporters filled the room. He spoke slowly and clearly. That day on Highway 41 was not new for me. It has happened before. It will probably happen again. He paused. The difference is, this time I had proof. Most people do not. Marcus talked about his career. I have trained officers for 12 years. I teach the Constitution. I teach how to stay calm. I teach respect. His voice got quieter. And I still got pushed against a car. I still got called, you people. If it happens to me, imagine what happens to a teenager, a father, a grandmother. He had a message for regular people. Know your rights. Write down everything. Stay calm even when they do not deserve your calm. Your composure is your power. Do not give them an excuse. He had a message for police officers too. Most of you are good, but good is not enough when you stay silent. The people who looked the other way at Reynolds' 17 complaints, they are part of the problem too. Marcus said what he wants to change. We need national rules for reviewing complaints. We need outside investigators when patterns show up. We need a database that tracks problem officers everywhere. He thanked the witnesses who stopped that day. You did not know who I was, you just knew it was wrong. That is courage. He finished with one sentence. A badge should mean protection for everyone, not just some of us. This case showed a bigger problem. Studies show black drivers are 20% more likely to be pulled over than white drivers. In some places, they are searched 4 to 5 times more often. Only 1% of complaints against officers lead to any punishment. Reynolds had 17 chances to be stopped. The system gave him those chances. Most victims do not have a federal badge. Most do not have 5 cameras recording. Most just have to hope someone believes them. That is what needs to change. So let me ask you, do we really want accountability, or do we just want viral moments? Do we wait for every victim to have a federal badge before we believe them? Do we keep paying settlements with taxpayer money while the officers who caused the problem pay nothing? Because if we do not fix the complaint system, if we do not break the pattern of protection, if we do not demand transparency, then we are just waiting for the next Reynolds, the next Thompson, the next settlement that changes nothing. Comment below if you believe officers should pay from their own pocket when they break the law. If you think stories like this matter, hit that subscribe button right now. We are going to keep exposing these patterns. We are going to keep following the evidence. We are going to keep demanding better. For justice, for transparency, for the basic right to drive down a highway without being judged by your skin color. This is not just about one deputy on one highway. It is about a system that protected him through 17 complaints. A system that only stopped when the victim had a federal badge. Marcus Thompson got justice, but the question remains, why did it take all of that? See you in the next one.